Welcome back, everybody. So glad you could be with me here in the workshop. Walter here at the workbench, making shavings with my number 3 Stanley. Today's topic is chip breaker screws. Now, you may or may not know this, but the approximate standard for the industry is 5/16 of an inch by 18 thread for most of the older screws. They were about, I'm not going to even get eighth, 3/16, about 5/32 of an inch long. So, if I want to use an old style chip breaker on a thick modern plane, it might catch one thread or part of a thread, but it needs to be, all right, I'll tell you exactly how much more it needs to be. If your blade is 1/8 of an inch, and this one happens to be 1/01, no, it's 1/15. But I have blades here that are 1/25, 1/26, 1/27. So let's go with the 1/15, and your original was 0.82. So 1/15, 0.82 leaves us 3 and 3. So 0.33 of an inch longer. What is 0.33? 1/16 of an inch is 0.52. A 32nd is 0.31. So at least, they need to be at least 1/16 of an inch longer, preferably a little bit more than that. 3/32 would be better. Now, on to the next interesting aspect. This is a Stanley 5/16 by 18. This is some generic M8 by 1.25 metric M8. Now, what's interesting is These 3 chip breakers that I just got, I can't get this particular screw, I cannot get it to work in these chip breakers. It doesn't go. However, I can take the Stanley 5/16 and it will fit. Somewhat loose, but it will fit. It will tighten, it will fit, it will work, but it's not long enough. So, I went to the internet because I don't believe I have a book here that would give me this answer. A 5/16 18 screw specifications is very close, very, very close to an M8. Now, so this is more or less a public service announcement. If you have trouble using your chip breaker screw with a chip breaker, it's possible it's the wrong screw. A properly machined 5/16 18 to spec will fit an M8 tapped hole or nut or chip breaker. It might be a little loose. However, the M8, and I shouldn't have put this on here yet, the M8 might not necessarily interchange with the Stanley. Now this one is going in to start, but it doesn't go any further. What it comes down to is something called tolerances. If your 5/16 18 is made to the acceptable tolerances for that screw size, you'll have no problems using it within anything, any chip breaker that has a 5/16 18 thread. If an M8 is made a little bit on the loose side, it might work. It'll be snug, but it might work. If an M8 tapped hole is a little bit tight on tolerance, your 5/16 18 will fit. So, I was going crazy trying to figure out why I can't get any of my chip breaker screws to work with these chip breakers. So, here's what I did. I got out my Clifton. I checked the specs of a Wood River. I checked the specs on the Soba. I tried the Soba in these, and the Soba, which is an M2, M8, will fit this. The Clifton will fit this, but I can't get this one to fit that. So I'm assuming this screw is poorly made. So I got on the phone, called up Woodcraft. The good people at Woodcraft said yes. Most of the Wood River chip breaker screws are M2 125. So I said, great, I want to order some. So I ordered some. Ah, I tell you. Now, what I might do before they get here is I might go to my local hardware store and buy me some hex cap screws. You know, the black screws with the sort of stumpy head, hex head goes in there, hex key goes in there. Generally speaking, those are hardened. I will get myself an M8.125 and I will get myself a 5/16 18. Doesn't matter how long, the shortest, cheapest one they have. And I will bring them home and I will test them on chip breakers. And they will become my sort of thread chasing tool. If they go through and nice and clean, no burrs, no nothing, then I know that's what will work in that chip breaker. So those will be my cheapest form of thread chasers. I was going to buy actual taps, but I'm too tired to do that. So that's about it for this one, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. Mine is just about done. Busy, busy, busy today. And it was cold. Not last night, the night before. Thursday night into Friday. We dropped down to 2 degrees. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be a cold winter. The gas company will love it, but my checkbook won't. So that's about it. Hope you found something useful and helpful. But it brings to the forefront the importance of keeping your blade sets intact. Chip breaker, blade, screw. Try to keep them together at all times. And I know it's sort of easy to drop and lose a screw, but if at all possible, keep them together. Like, subscribe, and share. Go out to your workshop. Go make some shavings. Walter out.